today's the day that we celebrate love, and we celebrate those in whom we love. But what is love? I thought that might be a good question to challenge what we think is love. Over the past several hundred years, romanticism has really developed this idea of love, and it's that butterflies in the belly kind of feeling. From the fairy tale princesses, to the chick flicks, to most of the songs we hear on the radio, it's this right off into the sunset idea of love. Now, don't get me wrong, the Bible's not silent on this kind of love. Song of Solomon's a great example of it. And this kind of love is helpful in our marriages. It helps our marriage succeed and it helps them blossom. But the problem is when we limit it to just this. Because what happens when all the feelings are gone? That's why divorce is so prevalent in our culture. I'm not in love with him anymore. I don't feel the same way I felt about him before. But the Bible presents a very different picture of love. Jesus says to love your enemies. You talk about a love that is void of feeling. Thankfully, God's love for us is not based upon how he feels that day. It's consistent. In 1 Corinthians 14, Paul describes love as a pursuit. Right after he defines what it is in chapter 13. We probably know chapter 13 is the love chapter. In verse 4, he says, love suffers long, is kind, does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up. It does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. And so love is a pursuit. Love is a characteristic. It's something that we do. It's not just something that we feel. And so let me throw a challenge out there. Where that passage says the word love, put your name. Curtis suffers long. Curtis is kind. Can those things be said of you? Take it a step further. Put your name there, but then add somebody else's name at the end that you say you love. Curtis suffers long with fill in the blank. Curtis is kind with fill in the blank. Can that be said about you? In fact, would they be able to say that about you?